Hello everyone, this is your favorite Asian guy back again with a new video with the title Major Update in Trump's Disqualification Trial. It's an important video, I bring it for you if you're interested in my channel. Basically, I'm interested in US politics. I'm from Asia and I'm interested in US politics. I do reaction on political videos of US. And please excuse my accent, I'm not a native speaker. Well, let's move to our today's video with the important title Major Update in Trump's Disqualification. And I'll give my review in the end of the video. Please make sure to watch the video till the end. So let's start. Here we go.
We've now got a major update in the Colorado trial seeking to disqualify Donald Trump from the ballot. After a state court judge, Sarah Wallace, found that Trump did indeed incite an insurrection, but that presidents aren't subject to the 14th Amendment, the decision is now being appealed by both the watchdog group that brought the lawsuit for not outright disqualifying him from the ballot, and by the Trump team for ruling that he incited that insurrection.
It's still a myth what's going to happen in 2024 election.
Which has agreed to hear the case, and I should note that all
a lot of people say Trump is going to be a president once again.
Governors.
What do you think? You can comment below.
Just a moment. But first, I want to discuss this finding that the ban doesn't explicitly apply to presidents, although stating that it applies to officers of the United States. Judge Wallace wrote, quote, "After considering the arguments on both sides, the court is persuaded that officers of the United States did not include the President of the United States. It appears to the court that for whatever reason the drafters of Section 3 did not intend to include a person who had only taken the presidential oath." But I would argue that this doesn't even pass the smell test. Why would the authors of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment go to all the trouble of banning insurrectionists from serving again in office, but leave a loophole solely for the president, who is the most powerful person in government? In other words, the authors didn't believe that senators and members of Congress and any other elected officials who'd engaged in insurrection should be allowed to serve again, but that a president who could do the most harm, who would wield the most power, should be able to? If there's logic in there, I've yet to find it. And that's a point that was echoed by my Democracy Watch co-host, Mark Elias.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense from a legislative intent standpoint, as you point out. Why would they pass this anti-rebellion and insurrection clause and somehow leave the president out? Like, why would that? How would that make any common sense? But beyond that, to read it out, you have to say that the president is not an officer of the United States. I mean, the president is the commander-in-chief, and the president is the chief officer of the United States. He is in fact, under conservative theories, where they talk about a unitary executive, he oversees. He is the only officer, in their view, of the executive branch of the United States. So I don't know how the judge got where they did to say that somehow the being president is not an officer of the United States. Clearly, the president takes the oath that's required by Section 3, and as you point out, the policy behind this, the purpose behind this, would clearly find the president fitting within it.
And of course, to see more episodes of Democracy Watch, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Now, I mentioned that the composition of the Colorado Supreme Court is that all 7 justices were appointed by Democrats. In terms of why that's especially important, here again is Mark Elias discussing how Judge Wallace's decision may actually have been a strategic play.
Look, some people have speculated that Judge Wallace is actually playing a very long game, a very smart long game, which is the judge found, as a matter of fact, that the former president engaged in insurrection. Okay, that is a factual determination, and that
insurrection
is entitled to great deference
about country
when it's reviewed by higher courts. She determined that as a matter of law, that the president does not fit within the definition of officer of the United States. That is a question of law that is reviewed afresh, what's called de novo. The court, by the appellate courts, they look at that for themselves. So if you wanted to take a more strategic view of this, you would say, look, what the judge did here is, knowing this would go up on appeal, she made the essential factual finding and knew that the legal determination was going to ultimately be decided by a higher court. And so she did the hard work. Now, whether she didn't take that extra step because of the tremendous pressure, the doxing, the intimidation, the threats that come to everyone who stands up to Donald Trump, I don't know. But it certainly may have been in her mind. I don't know.
In other words, even if, like me, you believe that Judge Wallace made a mistake by refusing to disqualify Trump from the ballot, it may not actually matter much, considering it was always a certainty that this case would be appealed to the state Supreme Court. But by ruling that Trump incited an insurrection as a matter of fact, and then ruling that the insurrection ban doesn't apply to presidents as a matter of law, she may have teed up the higher court to overturn her ruling and decide that because Donald Trump did incite an insurrection as a matter of fact, that the insurrection ban does apply to him and that he should be disqualified from the ballot. Of course, even the Colorado Supreme Court will likely not be the final arbiter of this decision, as it'll almost certainly be taken up by the U.S. Supreme Court, where we'll get a final decision on this issue. And then all of the other cases regarding this issue with scattershot rulings and decisions will ultimately comport with whatever the Supreme Court decides. And given the fact that states will need to print their primary ballots within the next month or so, we're all but certain to get a ruling on this issue, a definitive ruling, in the coming weeks. And look, I want to be clear that regardless of how the Colorado Supreme Court rules, and regardless of how the U.S. Supreme Court rules, what we already know as a matter of fact is disqualifying unto itself as far as Trump is concerned. The notion that America should elect to the highest office in the land a person whose final act in office was to undermine the results of a free and fair election and to put an end to the 200-year-old tradition of peaceful transfers of power is absurd on its face. And if his culpability wasn't already clear, the fact that a judge just confirmed as much is all the proof you need that he is an enemy of the United States of America, its Constitution, and the voters who already soundly rejected him at the ballot box.
Okay, this was a video. Tell me one thing. When you hear a word disqualification regarding Trump, what do you feel? Do you feel happy or sad? You can tell me in the comment section. Okay, let's move to the most interesting part of the video. In this part, I used to read comments regarding this video. Basically, someone says Trump needs to be held accountable for his terrible deeds. What do you think? Trump was terrible for this country, for US, or he's perfect for this country? Another one, someone is commenting, this is insane. We should not be even arguing this issue. Trump is totally unfit for office. Even my grandchildren understand why. Oh my God. Listen, what do you think? These comments are from Biden supporters? I think these comments are from Biden supporters. If we look at the comments, if we look at the majority, everybody is, criticizing Trump in comment section. Are you a Trump supporter? Are you a Biden supporter? Please tell me in the comment section. While watching this majority of comments, I think Trump is going to be in trouble in 2024 election. But who you are voting? Are you voting for Trump? Are you voting for Biden? You can tell me. Someone says Trump belongs to the big house, not the White House. Anyways, you're a US citizen. You can tell me more better. I only can judge from your comments. So you have to tell me who is better for US right now, Biden or Trump. Let's have a vote in comment section. And that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Give your precious seconds to subscribe to my channel if you literally like my video. So that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.